Today we are identifying every ghost in Phasmophobia with no evidence. This is the complete 2026 guide covering all 27 ghosts including the Dayan, Gallu and Obambo with real examples and behavior breakdowns. Let's jump into it. Banshees are known for their scream. If you hear a ghost scream in the parabolic microphone such as or see it in the sound recorder under the media tab, you are 100% dealing with a Banshee. It is a female only ghost and they love doing singing events such as Dayans are known for their changing speed, depending on whether you are moving or standing still. When you are more than 10 meters away, they walk normally, but when you are within the range, listen to the difference of the footsteps. They don't have line of sight speed, and like the Banshee, they are the only two ghost types that are female only. Demons are the most aggressive hunters because they can hunt regardless of sanity. To identify one, you will want to smudge them during a hunt and start a timer. Unlike other ghosts, demon can hunt again in just 60 seconds after being smudged instead of the usual 90 seconds. So if the next hunt happens between 1 minute and a minute and a half, you are 100% dealing with a demon. Deogens are one of the easiest ghosts to identify. They know the nearest player location, will rush to them, and once they get close, they will become very slow. Gallu cycle between 3 states, normal, enraged and weakened, and they always start the game in their normal state. Every time when they interact with a defensive item like a crucifix, incense or a sword, they cycle to the next state. The easiest way to identify a Gallu is during a hunt. If it's in normal state with normal footstep sounds, steps in salt, so it's going to be enraged, become faster and ignore the souls for the rest of that hunt. But either way, listen to the footstep speed after it hits a defensive item to determine the Gallu. The Goryo is the most boring ghost in the game because it has no special abilities. The only thing that makes it unique is that it cannot change its favorite room. So if the ghost changes rooms, it is not a Goryo, but if it never leaves, you will have to rule out every ghost to confirm it. Hantus have a temperature-based speed. In colder rooms they move faster and in warmer rooms they move slow. If the breaker is off, you might notice freezing breath coming from the ghost's mouth during a hunt. If you see that breath, you are 100% dealing with a Hantu. The breath disappears once the breaker is turned off, and it has no line of sight. Unlike the Hantu, the Jinn's ability only works when the breaker is on. If the Jinn sees you from far away, it will get a speed boost to close the distance, but once it gets within 3 meters, it will slow back down to its normal speed. If the breaker is off, this ability will never trigger, making the Jinn impossible to identify if we are playing with broken breakers. Mares are one of the more annoying ghosts to identify. They love performing light-breaking events, and their main ability is that they can instantly turn off a light switch if you turn it on while they are within 4 meters of it. But most importantly, mares can never turn on a light switch, which actually makes them easier to rule out than to identify. Good trick is to use a TV remote in the ghost room. If the ghost turns on the TV, you can rule out a mare, since TVs counts as a light source. Morois have a sanity based speed. At high sanity they are slower, but as your sanity drops they become very fast, especially near zero. To identify one, smush the ghost meat hunt and start a timer. If the ghost is repelled for 7.5 seconds instead of the standard 5, you are dealing with a Moroi. Mylings are known for being very quiet during hunts. The easiest way to identify one is to stay in range with your flashlight on. If you hear objects being thrown but no footsteps while your electronics are still normal, you are dealing with a Myling. You will start to hear its footsteps once your flashlights begin to flicker. Obakes are very easy to identify. During a hunt, they will shapeshift into a different ghost model. Just keep in mind that they cannot change gender. Male ghosts will only swap to male models, and female ghosts will only change into female models. Obambos can be tricky because their footstep speed cycles between slow and fast, which might remind you of the twins. But unlike the twins, the speed actually changes mid-hunt. If you hear the ghost suddenly switch from slow to fast or fast to slow during the same hunt, you are dealing with an Obambo. This cycle happens on a fixed 2-minute interval. Onis are very visible during hunts. They blink much less than other ghosts, making them easier to see. If you notice a ghost that stays almost consistently visible, you are dealing with an Oni. Here's a quick comparison between the Oni's blink and a normal ghost blink. Also, Onis cannot do misform events. If you want a more interactive way to practice what you're learning in this video, check out my No Evidence Quiz app. Here you can test yourself with theoretical, blinking pattern and audio questions. It's completely free, mobile and PC friendly, link in the description. Onryos prioritize blowing out firelights before hunting. They are the only ghosts that can blow out the same firelight within 20 seconds. They also cannot lit candles or campfires, so if you see a ghost lighting one, it is not an Onryo. If an Onryo is within 3 meters of 2 candles, blowing out the first one will cause the second one to act like a crucifix, preventing a hunt. Onryos can hunt after every third blown out flame. Phantoms are stalkers that leave EMF2 signature on their target. They are the most invisible ghost type during hunts, making them very easy to tell apart from others. Another trick, take a photo of the phantom. It will disappear, leaving a photo in your journal with no visible ghost on it. Poltergeists are known for throwing items very rapidly, about every half a second and much more violently. They are the only ghosts that can interact with multiple objects at the same time, causing the items to levitate, explode, or be thrown. To test this ability, players can create something called as a polty pile, stacking a bunch of objects together to see if the ghost interacts with them all at once. Raijus become faster during hunts when they are near active electronics. They also cause electronic disturbance from further away. If you listen closely, their heartbeats sound more bass boosted compared to normal ghosts. Revenants are very easy to identify. When they don't know where the player is, they move extremely slow, but once they detect the player, they become one of the fastest ghosts in the game. Shades are very boring ghosts. When you are in its favorite room, they become very passive and will never attempt to hunt. If the ghost is made to appear using a summoning circle, music box or monkey paw, it has a 50% chance of appearing as a shadow ghost. Also, shades cannot do singing events. Spirits are basically the opposite of demons. After being smudged mid-hunt, they can hunt again in 3 minutes compared to the standard 1.5 minutes of the other ghosts. Do this at least twice to be 100% sure. Thays age over time. When they are young, they are very active and fast. If you spend time in their room, they will slowly age, becoming slower and less active. They have no line of sight, and if you ask the Ouija board, it will indicate how much they aged. The Mimic is straightforward. It's the only ghost that leaves ghost orbs on no evidence, since the orbs are its special trait, not on actual evidence. And as its name implies, it can mimic any ghost. The twins can randomly hunt as either the slow twin or the fast twin, moving about 10% slower or faster than normal ghosts. Unlike Obambos, their speed does not change mid-hunt. They can also perform long-range interactions whether they are hunting or not. Wraiths are very easy to identify. They will never step in salt no matter what. Their main ability is that they can teleport on top of you, leaving an EMF2 signature. Be aware. Yokais are the dummies of the ghost world. They can only detect electronic and voice chat from 2.5 meters compared to the normal 7.5 meters for electronics and 9 meters for voice. To test this, turn on electronics or use voice chat while keeping some distance. If the ghost does not come to you immediately even while your electronics are disturbed, you are dealing with a yokai. Yureis are the only ghosts that can fully open or fully close a door. Partial door movements or aggressively slamming a door fully shut are not part of its ability. They are also the only ghosts that can interact with the exit door outside of a hunt or ghost event. Every ghost, every behavior, no evidence needed. Master the game, recognize ghosts by what they do, not what they leave behind, and become unstoppable in Phasmophobia, and try the interactive quiz app to put your knowledge to the test.